Hey everybody, what's cracking? What is cracking, people? What's happening, guys? I just want to give a shout out here to Papa Bjorn. Thank you for becoming a member. That's awesome. Guys, I don't have my extension turned on right now for the highlight. Hey Ron, good to see you, bud. Piper Lynn, what's up? Geneva, Jerry, Tiger's Eyes, Brenda. Guys, I was trying to do this live stream a little while ago. Actually right around 5 o'clock. You guys might have seen something get posted, and I had to change the time. My OBS went crazy on me. It wouldn't let me do nothing. I mean, it was nuts to the point where I had to do an update and reboot my computer. So, hey, that's what we deal with, right? That's what we choose to do here. So, also, guys, I would like to ask for some prayers. I am having some issues and kidney issues. I fought kidney stones my whole life, but this isn't that. I don't think. Could be a little bit of that, but I just need prayers. I don't need like sympathy or anything like that. Okay, guys. I just want everybody could pray for me. That would be great. Good thoughts. Whatever you guys do, I will take it. That's 100% just what it is. All right, guys, so I am going to go ahead and jump in it. Thanks to all my mods. I don't say that enough. I need to say it way more than I do, and I do apologize. I hate that. I hate that I forget to do that. I'm a moderator on other channels, too, so I know, especially like over on Marflugal, the chat can get pretty crazy sometimes, and I don't take it for granted. And you guys don't have to be here, and you guys choose to be here. And that makes the world of difference to me, just so everybody understands. That goes for everybody, really. What I will say, guys, is, yeah, we've had this big X player. And I'm just going to jump into it, guys. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I do want to say that tomorrow will be the day that I start giving out the cards. And I'm going to give you guys a choice, too. So I think the Sunspot ones are most appropriate. But we'll talk about that later. But anybody that's a member, I'm going to be doing a members only stream maybe tonight. Just depends on how I feel. But if not tonight, I will try to do a members only stream tomorrow before the regular stream. But okay, so to the space weather. I'm sorry, guys. I should have just jumped into that. I just wanted to explain that. But I may end up going to the hospital after this. I don't know yet. I am just not feeling well. And I've had these issues before. So don't worry about me. It's not like that. I just want prayers. That's all. Hey, let me tell you something, guys. I'm not afraid to ask when I need it like that. That's just what it is. I'm not asking for anything else but prayers. So, there's a lot of people out there that, let their pride get in the way. So, are we 5 for 5? I didn't even look. Hey, Miss B, appreciate you. Hey, Stephanie, Leah, my mod sister, Trish, what's up? Everybody say hello to Papa Bjorn. Papa Bjorn's our newest Kool-aid Krew member. But yeah, also I want to say thanks to Ricky Spence. She sent some Aurora photography over to me. I'm going to be showing that to you tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but with all the stuff that just happened and everything, I couldn't get it all set up right. And they're such great photographs that I don't want to ruin them. I want to present them in the right way, Okay, so let's just jump into this now. Like I said 12 times. Smack me in the head, squirrel, 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 right? So with that being said, here's the X flare. We are magnetically connected right now to this part of the sun. Anything that fires in this direction is going to hit us with protons, most likely. This is the biggest X flare of the cycle. Listen to what I'm saying here. This is the biggest X flare of the cycle. Now, I want to take the time right now to tell you guys and explain a little bit. Hey, Heather Joy, good to see you. Ain't seen you in a minute. Daryl, what's up? There's a difference between flares and CMEs. So a flare is, just think of it this way, X-ray. Think to yourself, hey, the sun needed to see the Earth's bones. How about that? Okay, so a flare is an X-ray. The sun's taking an X-ray of the Earth flare, right? Just kind of remember that. A CME is highly charged particles, plasma, magnetics, all matter and all of that, okay? It's physical matter getting ejected off of the sun. So with that, what makes that different is X-ray is part of the light spectrum. So it gets here in like 8 minutes. What's that do to us? Well, radio blackouts is the most that we can talk about, right? So let me just, I'm going to just let this model run so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. And you guys might notice up here, check this out. This thing has already fired a CME that when I looked at it on Soho, it has an earth-directed component. So we're under a geomagnetic storm watch warning for today from the other CME that happened over here. Okay? But this one here fired after that. So that's not part of the forecasting yet. See that one right there? Look at that. Guys, that one there is big. That's a big flare with a big CME. So this is what I want people to know. Do not be afraid, first and foremost. But do not think that the sun's going to quit. I know we just had this big G5, frankly, historical, way up there type of storm, which with an X3 flare, we probably should not have seen what we've seen. It makes everybody question a whole lot of things about what's going on. And, you know, again, I go back to this again. The flare is different than the CME. So even though it was, you know, typically when you see a higher X flare, especially long duration, you're going to see a very big CME from that. All right? A long lasting one that has a better chance of ejecting a lot of material, right? Particles. You can kind of tie that together. You can look, X5, say, has a CME that gives us a G4 storm, okay? Maybe we get an X20. It gives us a G5 or like a G5 or maybe even like, I guess we could call it a G6. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. So when we do this, we got to understand all that. But I don't want us to let our guard down because this thing is going on the backside now. This is not done. We are in solar maximum. That's just a fact. We're either there or we're so close to it, it's crazy. Now, I want to point something out on that too. We don't stand still at a point, okay? Solar maximum is not a point in time. Solar maximum is a block of time. And they don't even tell us exactly what time frame that is until it's already passed. Because they have to go back and look. They have to wait for the magnetic signatures on the sun and the activity that we're seeing. We need to see that data to see exactly when that is. Okay, so why do we do that? Well, so we can look back and we can see patterns. We can kind of know when we're supposed to be expecting things. That's why we do that. And it's better that they wait and get it accurate. We are never, ever standing still when we're talking about the sun cycle. We're either moving towards solar maximum or we're going down the other side, going back to solar minimum. It does not stay at solar maximum. It's just not how it works. Okay? And that's determined basically by the number of sunspots, number of days that there's sunspots on the Earth-facing disk. Okay? The side here. So, to kind of put that in perspective, because I haven't talked about that in a minute, here is the sun cycles. Right here. Well, here's the years. You can clearly see, if you go through here and you look, and I haven't done this in a minute, so I'm going to do it right now. So let me show you this real quick, and then I'll show you seeds, that other eruption. But you got 19% of the days in 2006 had no sunspots. Is it no sunspots or sunspots? I can't remember how he did this one. Yeah, 0 days without 0 days. We've had sunspots every day, right? So when you get 0 on the front side where there's nothing facing us, which looks like this, let me show you. See, here's basically solar maximum. Oops, sorry. Okay, there's solar maximum. There's solar minimum, guys. Look at that. There are no sunspots on the front. That's back in 2020. Okay, that's solar minimum. That's what the sun looks like. Now, let me, what I'll do to kind of give you guys a little bit of a graphic here. Check it out. Okay, look at the difference. And that's what I want to point out, because this is what we had to expect in 2020. Now, let me say this too. In a lot of ways, we're more vulnerable when the sun looks like this. Okay? And the reason why, we don't have all that geomagnetic activity here to help block stuff like cosmic rays. It even helps block anything coming from the sun, right? If you have the right amount of geomagnetic activity, our magnetic field stays strong. Now, that's not the only thing that affects our magnetic field. It ain't just the sun. The Earth itself and the conditions here and inside our core affect our magnetic field also. So if we're in the process of a magnetic excursion or a pole flip or any of that kind of thing, we're always in that process. I'm not going to sit here and argue with people if that's happening right now or if it's not. I don't, you know, for me, like I said, guys, I nowcast. I don't sit here and try to forecast that out. It's good to know that we're in a part of the cycle, of our normal cycle, that we should be expecting that kind of event to happen fairly shortly. Hey, Ricky, I just talked about you a minute ago. I'm going to show your pictures tomorrow. I had some computer issues that I couldn't get worked out, so I do apologize for that. She sent me some really good aurora photography, guys, just like the ones we seen from Chris yesterday, Lord Kiss Freak. And guys, it's yeah. So let's again. So we got the solar minimum. That's why I'm showing you guys this. So, what do we expect? What's going on here, right? Well, like I said, guys, this right here. Well, let me take you back here. I'm going to pause that part of it. But here's the X flare that we're talking about. But I want you guys, it had more than just one X flare. So let me show you that first. I guess I could have done that right off the get. Okay, there's an X flare there. There's an X flare there. There's an X flare there. See how that almost got the R4? That's an 8.9 X flare. That's very significant. Okay? Now, I will say this. It was impulsive. What I mean by impulsive, it was just bam, bam, right? It didn't have the long duration, hey, the X-rays stick around and kind of tapers off. That's what that does is, like I said earlier, it produces more CMEs and sometimes more powerful CMEs because of that. Because all that destabilization is happening, right? Now, if you look at this one, it's straight up and straight down. And I know it looks like it's tapering off here, but it's not tapering off because of the initial flare from that spot. I'm going to show you why that this is actually coming from two different spots. Okay? So let me show you that. The initial X flare, yes, is coming from this spot right here. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and zoom back in because I'll be able to show you guys this a little bit better. And I think it's important to understand this because when we're detecting X-ray, it's X-ray from the whole sun. It's not just from one specific spot. So when we say X flare, we're talking about all the X-rays everywhere on the sun that's getting shot at us from the sunspots. All of them. So when you get one that does what this did, okay, and what we're going to look at here, I'm going to show you that one, and I'm going to explain what's going on, okay? So that, I think that was the first one, which would be this one, okay? We'll check the time on it. I'm pretty sure that's the right time. 14 at 1300. It might not be it. Hold on. Nope, it would be this one. Okay? So that first flare happened before, but we might not be able to see that one on this particular graphic. But that's that second X flare, right? So if I go forward, we're going to see the big one here, right there. Okay, watch what happens. There's a big X flare. Yes, that's normal to see. It's just the camera's getting over flooded with light. That's all that is. Probably getting just bombarded. So that's not a big deal. That's just something you guys can recreate that yourself with your own phones. But anyway, watch what happens. See this? This one decided to jump in there at the same time. Okay? These are not technically sympathetic sunspots, which means they're communicating with each other and in sync and firing at the exact same time, because that's not what happened here. So I'll back it up. So we get the X flare right here, which is this one. Okay? Why did we see the tail off part of it? Because you can clearly see that this one here on the right is very impulsive. You don't see anything after the flare. You see that? See how everything just died down? And then up here, this one started firing right at the end of that. That's why we're seeing this tail off right here. So the long duration part of this did not come from that big X flare. The long duration came from this one. All right. Now that in itself right here is significant. This has an Earth-directed component CME also. So we'll look at that in just a minute. You see how the X-rays just kept coming? You can see it right there, just fluttering. And we oftentimes see this with X flares. Watch this. Okay, there's your X flare. And then what it does is all that energy and everything just destabilizes basically the whole sun. You can see it travel across. See that? So I hope people understand that. And we need to understand that we're talking about flares here. This is not CME yet. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. But I want to point out that this really didn't look like it was all that intense. Okay? Look where it's coming from. So let me, what we're going to do, again, my gosh, look at that. Okay, so if I go up here, this is the 211, right? This is a part of the light spectrum we can't see with our eyes. They put a filter on it, and that's what we see, right? So when we're looking at this, we get a shock wave. When we get these X flares, and you'll see the shock wave ripple through the corona, the atmosphere of the sun. And it gives us a very good idea if it's coming at us. Because if you see the shock wave from it kind of stretch out at least to like right here, then we know we got at least a glancing blow coming, okay? Most likely. If we didn't see that and was kind of confined to this area, then we wouldn't too much worry about a CME. Now we're getting ready to get hit with a glancing blow from this one. Okay? It might have been the one before, I can't remember. But one of those produced a CME, and we're going to be getting hit with that, okay? Matter of fact, we can look at their forecasting right here. I showed this yesterday, okay? So if I play this model, let me just pause it right here. Now, again, that's a very dense hit. So watch this thing fire off. This gives us 2 days historic data, okay? That's how this model works. And it tries to forecast out 5 days. So as I'm moving with that, if we grab this right here and we take a look at it, so we're kind of, if you look at the time right now, it is what? 7 Eastern? So that makes it 11 UTC. It's almost the turn of the day. We're almost to the 15th. So we should be getting hit with this thing. Now I can't say that we are 100%. We're going to take a look at the data here in a minute. But anyway, here is the CME from that. And there was another CME that fired off that direction. That's not going to affect us. Okay? But anyway, right here is when they ran the model. Okay, 2 days back, right? So there's that CME hit. You can tell it's a glancing blow. This is a north-south, right? This is a side cut. You got to pretend you're looking at the sun from the side. So you can see how a lot of this has a southerly direction, and it makes sense because it's over here, right? So if we take another look at this, we see that other CME. Now, it does do something kind of interesting here. They kind of start combining like on the side together. You see that? Now that happens, according to this model, after it hits us. Okay? So it shouldn't really add a whole lot to it. It can, because magnetics can pull or push particles, right? So it can kind of combine, become more dense, and the black colors here on this model is the most dense. But that's a top-down look here. And we're looking at density on the top. This is speed down here. Both are important to understand. So you can see how the first one, right here, is moving slower than the second one, right? And that's key to know. Because if this thing was fired off right behind this one, then it probably most likely would have been another cannibal CME, and we would be looking at a harder hit, okay? Because it would have caught up. And you get a snowplow effect in between those two CMEs. So pretend you're out there with your snow shovel. Pretend you're the backside CME, right? The second one. And the wall is the first one. And just put your shovel on the ground and walk towards the wall. Watch what happens to the snow. Same thing happens right here with the particles. So it generates another shock in between the two CMEs. They don't cannibalize in the aspect of eating one another. They don't combine. They don't do any of that. They get really close to each other, and they have that buffer of the snowplow effect between it. So in other words, basically it creates its own separate CME between the two. Because that's the effect that we see. It's not technically a CME, but it is smashed together particles. So that's what NOAA is forecasting right now here. Now, are we seeing anything happening right now? I can tell you right now, no, we're not. Not geomagnetically. This is the ACE data. I don't usually show you guys this, but this is the same. I used to show this all the time before we had really good Discover data to look at. It's the same stuff, and it's getting collected pretty much in the same place. But this is density, this is wind speed, this is our BZ. You hear me talk about the BZ till I'm blue in the face. -6 is what we look for, okay? -6 on the BZ, just remember, that's the threshold. If we get to BZ -6, we're magnetically in a position that geomagnetism from any CME or anything can really couple to us and get drawn in. On the opposite end of that, if it's in the positive, it actually deflects better, okay? We've seen big hits coming and not get into geomagnetic storming because the BZ wasn't in the proper magnetic position. Or the CME itself, the magnetic fields inside it, were opposite of what it would take to really draw it in. Okay, so there's a lot of fluid things happening here. Okay, and I just want to point that out because, yeah, it's important to understand that. You see how we kind of tailed off after this one? Now, here's our radiation storm. We did get to an S2. We never got to an S3. And I don't think we really got a bump from this one because it didn't produce much of a CME. Okay, so the protons weren't there to be drawn over, right? So if it's over here and it blew, then yeah, right? So let's see what kind of shock wave this does. Now, I know I kind of jumped around there a little bit, but I did that on purpose. So I want you guys to understand the difference. I'm going to be making some videos, by the way, guys, on the difference between flares and CMEs. And they're going to be two. I got a couple already. They're in my playlist if you look. But they're not the quality that I wanted them to be at, so I'm going to remake them. I don't even talk on them. It's just got some music and text and graphics. I'm going to change that. Anyway, you see that flare there, right? That was that first X flare, and then here comes the second. Okay, it's interesting what we're seeing here. Okay, and let me explain. So if we take it back to there, right there. Okay. And by the way, guys, thank you for all the new memberships. Anybody gifting them, thank you so much. Hey, if you guys could, while I'm pulling this up, can you guys give me a roll call in there? That'd be great. And take the time, guys, if you would, please, and hit the like button. It really does help get the video out. If you guys would like to become a member, please do. We're having fun in there. I'm going to doing members only streams about once a week. And we have fun over there. We really do. It's not so serious. We just have fun. We make emojis and everything else that we get to use, those kinds of things. Anyway, but you see this shockwave right here? See how it rippled across? Watch how far it goes. You can see it ripple all the way over here. I know it's kind of hard to see. I get it. So here's the CME, and then boom, you see that one? That actually caused another CME over here. Now, I don't think that was the X flare. Let me check the time on that. Yeah, that was back on the 13th. That was back here. So if we go over to the 14th here, let's just do that. Okay, so that's at 11. That would be this one, okay? Maybe. But we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6. So right around 6 UTC, which is about 2 Eastern. Okay, that's when this happened. So that would be 1800. There. Okay. So there's the X flare. Check it out. Watch what happens. You guys see all that energy even down here? Watch. See how it just lit up the whole thing? And then that one's fired right there. So if I back it up, boom. Boom on the right, and then boom on the left. And we see this often, guys. It's like a 180-degree phenomenon that we see. There's a lot, and that's why I pay attention to it. When we get a big blast off the backside, right? A lot of times we'll get that 180 effect. It'll blow one on the front side. It might not be as strong, but if we see one blow off the back, I watch even closer because we got a good chance of one coming at us after that. So I just point that out. But yeah, so you can see how much powerful that one on the left seems to be. And the reason why the one on the right is actually producing more X-ray, that's sunspot 3664, and I think this one's 3680, I believe, if I'm right on the numbers. But watch the X-flare on the right there, right? Now watch the corona just open up when this one blows off. See that? That's explosive, guys. That's not X-ray. That is CME material right there, okay? And technically it's ICME, which means interplanetary coronal mass ejection, which means nothing more than it just, it's going out towards the planets. It left the sun. It didn't get recaptured. AKA forever in my heart. What's up? Let's see here. Hey, Jeremy, I haven't checked my email yet. I'm sorry. I had a lot of stuff going on. I got some stuff I've been dealing with my health and stuff, but that's near here nor there. But just I'll check it tonight, okay, guys? I try to check my emails about once or twice a day. I didn't get a chance to really check them yesterday or today, so I'll be looking at them anyway. So we're going to take a look at the CME part of all this, okay? And what we're looking at here. This is SOHO, and I always do this. I don't know why I always forget. Okay, here's Earth. The satellite's right out in front of us, okay? It's about 1 million miles closer to the sun. It's from our perspective. It simply is, it's like you going outside and looking up. It really is, okay? Well, we got stereo A also, and it used to be way over here, so we had a really good partial backside view of the sun, and it also allowed us to get proper direction of the CMEs that fired off in the front. Because when it fires right off at us, we got this black occulter disc to deal with, right? That's a physical disc on the camera, and it has to be there. If it's not there, we get no images at all because the camera gets flooded with light. So we look for what we call halo signatures. And halo signatures are nothing more than the energy, the particles, and I'll show you. See how they kind of go around this occulter? We call that a full halo, but it's not a direct full halo. Sometimes the most dense part of these will come right at us, like what we just had. And all you'll see is this little faded stuff. But the hard stuff's coming right at us, and you wouldn't know that unless you went and looked at the other satellite. So having stereo A was a really good thing. We don't have it out there anymore. It's actually just about the same position as this satellite. Well, it's closer to SDO. It's basically from our point of view again, okay? But this is on the 13th. Let's go back to the 12th, because I think that's when this other glancing blow is going to be hitting, and I'll show it to you here if I'm correct. It might be on the 13th. I can't remember. But here's that sun diver I showed you guys yesterday, right here. I went over all that yesterday, right? See that? Because it did. It is, if it, you know, I can't really say it was out there by the sun, because there's 92 million miles away from this satellite and the sun. So to get an exact distance is almost impossible, okay? But we can tell that it's going that way. And I can't even tell you if that actually got ate by the sun. We get what we call sun grazers also. They'll go out there and the sun won't eat them up. It won't be sucked in. It'll get slingshotted around and it'll stay in orbit around the sun. Okay? With that being said, does it matter? Not really. When these things get closer to the sun, though, they will affect it magnetically, and these things can instigate CMEs. But let me assure you, there was not 5 million nuclear bombs on this thing. There was not some big, gigantic, whatever explosion. It just didn't happen, guys. People think, and I can see why people think this, and I'm trying to be as nice as I can. But you see how that thing comes in there? And check it out. I probably shouldn't even be going over this again, but I want to, because I want people to understand. Look at the timestamp. This gives us a 24-hour run, right? So there's a sun diver about right there. And then right here, they're saying that it exploded because of this. Look at the timestamp. It went back to the beginning of the run, guys. That's all that is. There was no gigantic explosion underneath the sun. It didn't happen. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. And, you know, and at this point with this, that's not even my opinion. You can see that happened. I just showed it to you. Okay? And if we go to the next day to confirm it, right? You see anything here at the beginning? Thank you. Hold on a minute. I'll read that for you. So if I back this up, here's the beginning. You see anything going on there? This is where you would see it. Nothing there. Okay? Just saying. I know I get a little whatever here, but it's just, yeah, guys, it really does. It really does bother me sometimes, because I hear things and I know what, for me, I know what's right for me and what's wrong. But thank you, AK Forever in my heart. Mark, thank you for keeping us all informed. I appreciate you. God bless. Thank you for the super chat. Very generous. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My wife says thank you too. She's I have to say that this is her thing. I'm just here. So anyway, you got that going on, right? Now let's go to the 14th, and we'll check out the eruptions from today. Notice how the sun started going crazy again, right? So there is the first X flare right here. Okay. Now, if I start this, we'll go to the second one. There's another one. I'm not sure if that one actually produced. Yeah, that I think that's actually on the backside, guys. Okay. I don't think that one's that. It wouldn't be coming at us anyway. We can take a look at that though. Hold on. Yeah. So no, that's off the backside. Okay. And then the next one, right there. Check it out. You seeing that? Right? Yeah. Hey, Seven, good to see ya. If I forget, I love you all, man. Well, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Kool-Aid by Seven Son. Yeah, guys, if you're a member, don't forget, you can go down there and click on that little money symbol there. And if you've been a member for a month, it'll let you give a free super chat there. Okay? It's not any money or anything getting transferred, but it gives you a special highlighted message. It's pretty cool. I like that part of it. So thank you. Now, Awesome, guys. Piperland, 7th Sun. Guys, if you guys don't know 7th, come look at the top of the comment section under each video. He leaves us a dad joke, and I put it up there. I pin it. Hey, Piper in the 7th. Congrats. That's right, baby. That's right, a.k.a. Heather Joy. All right. Now, as I move forward, I don't think that actually is coming at us. Because right here, you got 3, 6, 9, 12. It happened right here. So, unless it was a filament eruption, which I don't think it was, there was no flare there. So, that's on the backside, guys. That one is. Now, if I hit start here again, I'll pause it. There's, I believe, that X flare. 1400. Which would be this one. Okay? And then, if I go forward again, there. Look at that. Okay, well, I have to kind of eat my words here a little bit. Hey, Stephen A., smash that like button, baby. Heck yeah. Smack that like button. Smack it like it's your stepchild, man. Come on. Beat the crap out of that thing. I'm just kidding. Guys, I got this bad, I guess, entertainment thing I like to watch. I shouldn't call it bad. I watch the court proceedings that they do on Zoom now. They do live court proceedings on Zoom because of the, the COV 919 thing that happened. But yeah, so, yeah. Focus on Jesus now. I 100% agree, Daryl. 100% for me, brother. Thank you for that. All right, guys. So, all right. Now look at this, guys. Wow. I'm seeing this for the first time with you. I haven't looked at this yet. This one. Okay? So this is the big X flare. And you can kind of call it an X flare on both sides of the sun. Because it came from two different sunspots, almost 180 degrees from one another. Let's see here. Wrath, they could take all the world's arsenal of nuclear weapons on the planet and fire at the sun, and they still wouldn't be able to influence anything to do with the sun. Yeah, I agree with that, Wrath. You might be able to instigate a small magnetic disruption, I guess, and maybe cause a small CME or something, but it's not going to be anything big. It just won't. Number one, I don't know if you could send a nuke out there and get close enough to the sun without the heat just blowing it apart anyway. I don't know how that works, but also the solar wind would be smashing into any kind of missile there at all the whole time. So chances are it ain't going to make it there, is what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, there's that X flare off the side. Now, here is the secondary eruption from the other sunspot. And this one here is actually more concerning for me. Pam B, what's up? Thank you. Thanks again, neighbor. That's right. We hang out close together, don't we? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'm a Hoosier. X-Class 8.7, not big, really. Yeah, it kind of is big. That's a bigger X-Flip. It's not grid down or nothing. You ain't going to hear that here. But an X8 is the biggest of the sun cycle. I can tell you that. But yeah. So, let's go here to, let's see here, what we want to go to now. If I misread that, if you guys are having a conversation, bring it on. We're tired already. Hey, okay, yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Love it, Melissa. Love it. It's a little big. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is the biggest one in the sun cycle, and that's significant. So, also, Jeremy here makes a good point here. This one here, this sunspot that produced this right here, which, it's hard to say, guys. We may get a glancing blow from that. But I can tell you that the majority of this big eruption here is going to be going north and east of Earth, okay? That's to the left when we're talking about the sun. When you're talking about direction east-west on the sun, you have to pretend that you're standing on the sun looking up. So, that's just what I'll say. All right, guys? You can't look at it like you're looking at a flat map. It's different, okay? North-south is the same. East-west is different. And there's reasons they did that, but I really don't know the exact reason. But we have to continue to do it that way because that's how they've always done it. And it would screw up all the data and stuff if you try to change that. So, anyway, this is this is what I'm talking about right here. This thing here is powerful. Okay? I'm not even gonna like play any games with that. This CME that was produced with this, when you see those bright colors like that over here, it does have a little bit to do with the perspective that we're looking from, but it also means that that's a very dense part of what's going on. Yeah, the Parker spiral definitely has an effect here. Okay, and what Whitney's talking about here is this model here. This is a Parker spiral Enlil model. Enlil spiral is what they call the model, but it's Dr. Parker discovered and did all the research on the spiraling part of our motion that we go through here. You know, we kind of go through the if you were to stand behind the earth, right? If you could somehow miraculously do that, and you could stay oriented straight while the earth still moved, you would see a spiral forward. Okay? That's how everything moves. But from our perspective, everything's kind of on a flat plane and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. That Enlil spiral is important to know because this is the main reason, this spiral is the main reason we connect to this side of the sun. Okay? So with that being said, I'll leave that where it's at. Now, again, let's go back over here to seeds. This is a very, very intense eruption, guys. And it's not coming right at us. So, and if you look at the sides of it here, you kind of right there in the half. You see that? So I tell you what we can do to see if we can get a better, see if we can get a better idea of maybe if this thing's going to get to us at all with a glancing blow or something. Let's take a look at this and see what kind of shock wave we see. Oh, wow. Man, that thing was intense, guys. I'm sorry. It just was. Check this out. Okay, so there's the X-flare on the right. You can see everything kind of disrupt that direction. Watch. I'll back it up so we can start new again. So here's the X-flare. And I've already done this once, but I want to take a closer look. You can see the stuff going this way. And look at that. Now, I will say this. The shock wave from that, most of it went this way. So, I'm not sure if we'll even get hit with that at all. So, that's just the way I'm looking at it here, guys. I mean, people can have a different opinion. That's okay. But for me right now, I don't think we're seeing much of anything. But check this out. Look, boom. Mom never let me have Kool-Aid growing up. Hope between the dreams, baby. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's right. Viper lid, bang, baby, bang. Can we get another roll call in there in the chat? I want to see where everybody's from. Just give me a region. You want an X20? Zinga, zinga? You might get your wish. I don't know. But anyway, this ain't going to have very much of an Earth-directed component. But watch what happens after this one. Watch right here. See that? There was no sunspot there. So that is an eruption. I bet you that's a filament. We can look. A filament is a magnetic line laying across the sun. And it's just got highly charged particles on it. Basically plasma. So we see them on this one. This is a 304. And this 304 shows us ionized helium. And it's really good for looking at that gas because it lets us see different details. So we're able to see the filaments better. Okay? And again, like I said, it's just a magnetic line laying across the sun is what a filament is. Okay? But let's see what happens here because that's where we see that other eruption. let's check it out here. So there's the X flare. Right here. Okay. And then here's the secondary eruption. See that one? And now we'll look right here and see if we see a filament or something pull off. Yep. You see it? See that right there? That is a filament that's lifting off. So that right there may actually hit us. We'll see. So this is what happens. The sun gets destabilized, guys, when all this stuff is going on. And everything on the sun affects everything on the sun. Oh, no, we got people in here from Minnesota. Hey, Pam B. That's right. Hey. You're just a can kick down the road, Pam B. You know that. Skywalker, what's up? Drake, blame the 6. It's heading our direction, especially with the Sunspot group. Yeah, and the antipode, yes, 100%. 7th, Jonathan Earl. I'm in Wildemar. Part-time Alaska? Awesome. 36666, probably. I would bet there probably is. What we can do, we can look real quick. You want to look? There's 667. Are you kidding me? That's, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. There might have been a sunspot that popped up and then dissipated. It probably had that 3666 number. I don't see it here now. It's not on the sun now. Here's 3667. And here's we got 664 right here. I don't see 665. It's gone too. So, yeah. It probably was there. I wouldn't see why they would pull it off. I get what you're saying with the 3 6s and all that. But, yeah, I don't think that, yeah, I don't see it. It's not there anymore. So, that's what I'll say. It most likely was. They're not going to change it just because of that, guys, just so you know. Trish, thank you for gifting a membership. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Who got that? Ryan Kaylor, welcome to the Kool-aid Krew. Ryan Kaylor, you got people here from the Old Testament. Oh, yeah, baby, you love it. Love it. Yahusha's in control of my world, I promise you that. Anyway, let's go ahead and hey, speaking of that, has anybody seen Hilly? Hilly Billy, guys? I haven't seen him in a minute. I'm getting a little worried about him. If anybody knows if he's okay, let me know, please. I know he did a live stream this past Saturday. I need to see if he did one today. I haven't looked. I usually see him in here from time to time. I've known Hilly way before I started my channel. So, anyway, just so you guys know. Now, okay, guys, so look at this, guys. This is, it's something else. And who said it? I think Jeremy said it a minute ago. The fact that we've got this sunspot now. Anyway, let's look at this filament. I kind of went off the rails there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying not to do that as much. I think you guys, I've said that a lot too. But anyway. Okay, yeah, so we can kind of see it right here. Watch, I'll back it up. You see how that's lifting off? Now, it does look like when it's lifting off, it's probably going to go mainly north of Earth. But again, now as the sun cycle progresses, remember that the sunspots themselves will migrate towards the equatorial region. Skywalker, why'd you, That might have been an accident, Skywalker. I don't think, let's see here. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. I don't think IG meant to do that. I could be wrong. I haven't been watching the chat that close. Hey, Barbie Lady. Little. Yeah. I guess IG timed him out. I'm not sure why. If that was a mistake, let us know, IG. I don't know. I've been really watching the chat there. Skywalker usually is good, though. I don't know what could have been said to do that. I don't know. And remember, guys, you guys are welcome to have whatever beliefs you want. Okay? Just be respectful. I'm not saying that that's anything different what's going on now. I'm just saying you guys can say whatever you need to. Let's go. Thank you for your time at Kool-Aid. I didn't even call my mom. Love you for that. Respect. Right back at you. It's all good. Okay. I think it was just a mistake. Oh, okay. Hey, Jill. What's going on, girl? Good to see you, Internet Mom. Anonymous. Okay. I don't know what happened, so we'll just, I'll let that go. All right, guys? I'm not going to get into drama stuff. So, but, yeah. Yeah, just remember, guys, we're allowed to have our opinions, but just, I'm not sure. Again, I'd have to go back and look. And vulgarity? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Skywalker killing me. Thank you, IG and Jill. I always back my mods, guys. That's just who I am, and that's what I'll do always. And if it's a mistake, then we correct it. If not, you know, we do have rules here, and I know Skywalker ain't mad right now, so it just you know, we can't use vulgarity and stuff, and I think he knows that, or her. I'm not sure if it's a guy or girl, but I'm sure he knows that, and he's okay, or she, whatever. And if that needed done, that needed done, I guess. I mean, it's just what it is. The only rules I got, guys, we can't be vulgar. No vulgarity at all. That's just something I won't put up with. Also, it just offends way too many people. I know we're all adults, but guess what? We can act like adults and not go at each other. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. So we can't attack other people in the chat, and we can't attack any other channel. I don't care who they are. Okay, guys? So I won't allow that kind of drama here. So, and I'm not saying that that's going on. Those are just my main 3 chat rules, and my mods know it, and they all do a good job. So, thank you, IG and Jill and anybody else, and thank you, Skywalker, for understanding. I really do appreciate that, guys. Hey, Renee, good to see you. Hey, you made it live. Heck yeah. Okay, so, I really don't have a whole lot more here, guys, other than to tell you that we're under a geomagnetic storm warning. We should start to see this activity start to hit. It's late, okay? So let me say that first and foremost. The hit that we were expecting from the glancing blow is late. Or it's missed, okay? Both are possible. So with that being said, if it's late, that means it's probably not going to be as powerful. Now, as soon as I say that, look what happens. What in the world, Wages? What is going on in your world, man? Daggone. Look, I don't know, guys, if this is some sort of a glitch in the model or in the data collection here. It's very odd to have everything back here moving, and then all of a sudden, everything just went to a straight line. You see that? And the BZ is starting to go negative. So we could be getting a hit. I tell you what we can do. Let's take a look at that real quick. I bet we are. Yeah, we're getting hit. That's what's happening, guys. We are starting to take that hit. So we're going to have to wait and watch and see what happens here. And why am I saying we're taking a hit? Because you can see the sun's off to the left. Now watch this out here closer to the end. See that? That's a bit of a change in the data speed. Okay? When you see that, that means that something is moving, right? Now it's not a huge, and there's another one right there on the end, and it happened right here on the end. So the timing's lining up. I don't think it's out of the realm of, hey, we might be starting to see a glancing blow. Now, if that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's really not, I'm not too concerned with this one, okay? But what I want everybody to focus on from here on out right now is this, okay? First off, no fear at all, period. I don't care if we're getting the big kill shot or what everybody's talking about. We know it's going to happen eventually. We have that ability to understand. Oh, thank you, Renee. Appreciate you. Thank you for those gifted memberships. Guys, everybody else that's in there got those memberships, please tell her thanks. And please come to the members only stream tonight or tomorrow. We got some stuff I really want to share with you guys. But please do that. And again, guys, I'm going to be giving away some cards. But anyway, we got this happening right now. So, and what my eye is on is this. This sunspot up here. This thing's rotating in. It's now on our side of the sun. Okay? And I haven't shown you the 94 angstrom yet. So we're going to take a look at that real quick. But remember, this is solar minimum. Right? This is the difference. Minimum, close to maximum, or in solar max. And as these sunspots rotate and migrate towards the middle, what's that going to do? That's in the equatorial region. A sun cycle essentially is a magnetic pole flip on the sun. Okay? Hey, Vicky, good to see you. Another one of my internet mamas. Good to see you, girl. I was glad to see Jill. She made me so happy when she was in here. That's my other internet mama. I'm telling you. I get adopted by a lot of people. Anyway, I love it though. I wouldn't change it. That's for sure. The solar minimum, and then we got solar max over here, right? And so, as I move that, and here lately, guys, this 94 angstrom, I don't know why, but it's been really choppy when you run the model here. It's really odd. Hopefully they'll fix that. Now remember, this is ISWA, okay? You can see the same data, guess where? Because this is from the satellite SDO. Guess where you can go see it at? SDO. Okay? So if I go here and go to home, and I click on that, and I click where is SDO, what's it going to do? It's going to show me how this satellite operates. This is in geosynchronistic orbit. Stays over the same part of our planet at all times. Okay? Is Hilly in here? Hey, brother, good to see you, man. If you're here. But this is how the satellite works. Okay? So it does this figure 8 pattern at all times. Right? It never moves from here. It's orbiting our planet at the same degree speed that we rotate around our axis. 15 degrees an hour. That's how fast this is moving. But it always does this figure 8 pattern. And because it's rotating or orbiting our planet at the same speed, that's what makes it stay over the same part of our planet at all times. In other words, you're not going to see this satellite over here by Hawaii, over here in Africa, over top of it. It's going to stay here. This is the Eastern Pacific, Southeastern, and equatorial, I guess. It goes down into the south here too. So it's a pretty large swap there. And it does do this figure 8 pattern rather quick. But because of this, sometimes the Earth will get in between the satellite and the sun. And we get what we call an eclipse season. We typically get 2 of those each year. And every once in a while, you'll see the moon go between it. And I think we've seen Mercury on it also. But anyway, this is where you can get you get the same data, guys. This is what I try to tell people. People will go to something like what I'm showing you here, and the data won't be there. And they'll say, oh my God, and they'll start running around like, it ain't there, all this other stuff. And all they simply had to do was this. Boof. There it is. Okay? So just because the model isn't working on one website doesn't mean that the data isn't there. You have to go look. And I understand people that are new at this, they probably need to be helped to be told where to go look. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to pop back over here, and we are going to take a look at this real quick. But this is the 94 angstrom again, and it's part of light spectrum we can't see. It's in that same geosynchronistic orbit satellite, SDO. And I know I say that a lot, and I feel like I say it too much, but I want everybody to understand that. I get a lot of new people, guys, and when I do, I feel like I need to explain those kinds of things so everybody has a good understanding. And I know the people that have been here for a while have heard me say that probably 1,000 times, but I hope the new people appreciate that. Yeah, Hilly, I've been praying for you, brother. I ain't seen you in a minute. Can you email me, Hilly, please? I got something I want to talk to you about. All right, check that out. Right, so here is, what time is that? Okay, that's on the 13th. Let's find the X flare, the big one, right there. Okay. So here's the big X flare, right? X.9, 8.9, and then it disrupted and caused this sunspot over here to erupt. And watch this sunspot. Look at all those X-ray. Watch how long it hangs out. Look at that. I mean, it's still producing X-ray right now, at least the data that we have. Okay? I mean, that thing really did, that did a number, man. Wow. And see what else is happening? If I back this up, you got this all disrupted, right? So you can see this is the long duration part of it, guys. See how that's staying that bright that long? That's why we see the slow slope right here. Okay? So I'll just say that. Now, again, let's go back here. So that is just very intense. And so this is what I'm watching right now, guys. This sunspot grouping right here. But if you take this back and you watch X flare and then the other flare, it probably was close to X flare also. Okay? But they kind of produced X-ray almost at the same time, so it's hard to tell. But watch the other sunspots. Okay? Notice how these here are really kind of blah. And then this one erupts. And watch what happens down here. These two sunspots. See that? That one just flared. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Everything's getting disrupted. And when it does, things become unstable and we get more eruptions. And so with that being said, if we go down here and we look at the geomagnetism, or the magnetogram, I'm sorry, this is the sunspots and it gives us polarity, right? The cores. Now what I'll say, this sunspot over here, it doesn't have like big deep cores yet. That's crazy to me. And the reason why that's crazy to me is because, you know, the big one that just rotated off here is, yeah, it had all these big deep cores and they were intermingling. So when we see the reds and blues next to each other and they start swirling around, we get reconnection points. Okay. So let me just say that. Okay. When those reconnection points happen, that's when it flares. That's a solar flare. That's what happens. So when that reconnection happens, bam! It's like taking a screwdriver in between two terminals. Anybody that has ever worked on electricity, and stick that screwdriver in between there and touch them both at the same time, and see if you got your hand left. Okay. And I'll tell you guys, I know this is off subject, but it actually kind of applies. We had a guy I used to work with. I worked at a factory for over 20 years. I was a technician. It was a plastics factory. And we called him Jolt. Now, you guys know exactly where I'm going with this, right? He would literally lick his fingers and stick his fingers inside an electrical cabinet and test fuses by making himself part of the circuit. Until he did that on a 480 on a bigger fuse, and it blew him across the shop. His face turned like this soot black. His hand was burnt. What an idiot. Just couldn't believe it. He literally would test fuses like that. He's too lazy to walk over to his toolbox and grab his meter. Anyway, we'll move on. Anybody that does any of that kind of stuff, you probably understand what I'm saying. That's all right, Hermit. Thank you again for that very generous super chat earlier, guys, a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago. Thank you. It was a $100 one, and it awesome. Thank you. I really am. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Hilly. Right? 3-phase? Exactly. I worked at an injection molding and printing shop, guys, called Berry Plastics. Any 8-ounce Cool Whip bowl that you guys had at Thanksgiving time for about 15 years, passed through my hands. Well, I worked on the machine that made them. Put the print on it. So, I thought that's pretty cool. Also, Dan and Yogurt. I can't believe it's not butter. Country Crock. Piggly Wiggly. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Dean's French onion dip. All that stuff. I made all that stuff, guys. I was very proud of that. I was good at what I did. I really was. But anyway, so, yeah, guys. We're going to be watching this one. These things are already starting to intermingle. If they start to get more, like, dense and, like, just really deep and strong, and they start swirling around like this one did, you know, it was an AR3664. This is AR3680, I believe. So we're going to keep an eye on this one as well as these other ones. Now, I do kind of, you can kind of see this sunspot group and then this one. These are kind of close enough that we could see a repeat of the combination thing that happened with AR3664. Okay? You know, every time I say that, I feel like I'm like Anakin Skywalker and calling over my little droid or something. Anyway, okay, guys. I am going to wind it down here, guys. I will give you guys any updates that I possibly can. If anything happens, I will. I do want to show you this, though, okay? We are connected to that part of the sun where that big sunspot's at right now, okay? So the radiation storms are very possible if it erupts anymore, okay? Radio blackouts just continue. They are not going to stop. We're just going to have a continual... anybody doing ham radio operation right now probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. So... anyway, check that out. Boom. Right over the United States. That was a bigger one. That was at 1653, so I don't know if that was the big one or not. 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6. So that'd be what? 1600. Yeah, that's it right there. Happened right over top of the United States when that happened. So I could probably get online right now, and I guarantee you I would see some reports of radio disruptions. But as you can see, how this never goes away right now, and the reason why is because of this. Our baseline X-ray right now is almost in R1 radio blackout storms continually without any more individual eruptions. Okay? So, hey, Jennifer. Hilliard, I can't tell you how good it is to see you, bud. I've been really a little bit worried about you, bud. Really have. ANG333. Chewy, what's up? Enjoying this wrath, baby. Yeah, that's a good point, Wrath. This stupid Bluetooth mouse. Brad Carrington witnessed it through the telescope and actually physically drew the picture of it. Yes. 100%. Good point, Wrath. That's what he did. And I showed you guys a while back that they really resembled each other. So, okay, guys, I am going to go ahead and pop off. I got dinner in there, my wife, and I may end up having to go to the doctor here in a little while. So please, guys, throw me some prayers. I'm okay, so don't nobody worry about me or anything like that. But I'm not above asking for prayers. Okay, I think it's appropriate when we're not feeling the greatest and got issues, right? I fought kidney stones my whole life. This right here is something that feels similar, but not the same. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. So I may end up having, if I get the pain like I had earlier today, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go out there. But I hate going to the emergency room. It's so much more expensive. It really is. That's why I don't. So anyway, guys, there you go. If you guys have any questions, bring them back to me tomorrow. Any new members, thank you. Guys, I will be doing hey, Miss Dragon, good to see you. I will be doing a members only stream here. Hey, Jill. Daniel, what's up? Jonathan Flowing, baby. Gunslinger's in the hizzy. Seventh Sister, yay! Sarcastic John. Any new members, guys? You guys get to use special emojis. So just know that. when you go down there in the chat, you got emojis that just members get to use, and we're going to be making some more of those tomorrow. Leah made the last one. Well, I made it for her, but she was during a members only live stream. I made it for everybody right in front of me. Thank you, Bobby Sue. Appreciate you. Anybody else? For real, thank you. Yeah, I know, Vicky. I probably will. If I don't go there tonight, I'll probably make an appointment tomorrow. But so thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. That's okay, Linda. Hey, it's okay. Well, thank you, Ripper. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. I'm assuming that was directed me. Yeah, there it is. Aaliyah put the dragon emoji. We're going to be, again, guys, we're going, yeah, squirrel. Ain't that right, Millie? Steven, there you go. There you go, guys. Don't forget to come back and leave a comment. Please do me a favor. Come back, leave a comment. You have no idea how much that actually pushes it out. It really does. It helps a lot. Aaron's in the house, baby. If you guys have never seen the Key and Peele skit on that, you need to. Oh, I love that one too, Chewbacca. Love it. Gunslinger in the hizzy. Renee, good to see you here. Really is. Okay, thank you. Al, really. Hey guys, listen. I take everything I can get. I'm serious. I have no expectation that everybody's going to believe exactly how I believe. So I don't push that off on the people, And on the other hand of that, guys, too, whatever you believe, would you want somebody cramming it down your throat? You know what I mean? How else are we going to get people to believe how we think we should believe if we don't talk to them? You see what I'm saying, guys? So we're all here together, right? And wherever you fall, I love everybody. I really do. And that's the way that I think that it all has to be. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. And I do think that helps lower the drama that we all have. We're allowed to have our opinions and our own beliefs. That's one of the great things about, this country. So not everybody's allowed to have that. And I don't take it for granted. So, but anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and pop off, guys. Thanks for the prayers. Look for a members only stream either tonight or probably not tonight, but possibly. And, but most definitely tomorrow at the very latest. So, all right, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves. And, yeah, you can drink this Kool-Aid.